Johnny Walker versus Jamahal Hill takes place this weekend in the main event of UFC Fight Night Vegas 48, Walker versus Hill, and I can't wait for this light heavyweight main event. It's not the best main event in the world. There have been many Fight Night main events better than this one. However, Johnny Walker versus Jamahal Hill is still a very intriguing matchup, regardless of where it is on the card. Of course, this is on short notice for 5 rounds. They were originally supposed to fight for 3 rounds in the co-main event, which is actually very interesting because, of course, Jamahal Hill, I don't believe, has ever gone 5 rounds in his career, so now he'll now do that for the first time, at least under the UFC banner, in the main event on short notice, which is quite interesting. But then again, Johnny Walker, in his last fight against Thiago Santos, he did go 5 rounds, I guess, but I wouldn't even consider that a 5-round fight. That had about the action of a 1-round fight in many other weight classes. They literally just stared at each other for 5 rounds, and I'm actually very, very interested that the UFC decided to trust Johnny Walker in another main event after his last one, but either way, they had to make do with what they could on short notice. This isn't the best card in the world, but let's talk about this matchup because regardless, it's 2 top 15 light heavyweight contenders, and this is a very important fight in the light heavyweight division. And Jamahal Hill is an interesting prospect on the rise at light heavyweight, and Johnny Walker is always an interesting character to look out for. And if he can make improvements, but also start applying those improvements on his opponents, maybe then he could actually be a new force in the light heavyweight division. But we'll see how things go this weekend, of course. I've got Jamahal Hill winning this fight by KO. I think it's a very good matchup for him. Johnny Walker's chin is very interesting. It seems that any single time a person lands on him, he seems to go down or at least get wobbled or react in some way badly. I mean, against Thiago Santos, he barely took any clean shots. There was one shot he actually took, which was a clean left hook from Thiago Santos, and he actually took that one quite well, which was very interesting. However, he was standing there, he was moving back away with the shot as well, but it did catch him very clean. However, Johnny Walker, when we've seen him KO'd before, is in these wild exchanges where he's up on one leg for no reason in the middle of the pocket. Like, I have no idea sometimes how close Johnny Walker thinks he is to his opponent. Like, I feel like Johnny Walker might be blind in one eye because his depth perception is so off a lot of the time in his bouts that it's actually confusing to me. In the Ryan Spann fight, he was trying to throw a front kick to the body at one point in elbow distance, and I have no idea why he tried to do that, but it led to him getting dropped really badly. Now, of course, he recovered. He's very, very athletic, so even if you end up on top of him like Ryan Spann did, he will just pop back up from on bottom. It's actually ridiculous. In my opinion, if he started to implement some offensive grappling, he actually could have a really good chance at being a real threat in that division, just because of how physically superior he is to a lot of those light heavyweight guys. I reckon if Johnny Walker learned a really good double leg and learned how to do some shit to people on the ground, he could pick up, slam, and really destroy people on the ground in that light heavyweight division because he's basically a heavyweight down there. However, he doesn't do that. He strikes. I don't see him grappling with Jamahal Hill. Jamahal Hill, we have seen him have some problems on the ground before against Paul Craig, but again, he never got taken down in the first place there. He doesn't really get grounded out by opponents. I believe Darko Stosic took him down a couple of times in their fight, but he popped right back up, went 3 rounds there against Darko Stosic, pieced him up on the feet for the majority of that fight as well. Jamahal Hill is a very improving fighter, and his shot selection recently, I feel like, is the best it's been, especially against Jimmy Crute. Landed that right hook as Crute came in, right behind the right behind the head, essentially, but it's perfectly legal because Crute was facing him at the time, and the shot just wrapped around. Perfectly legal shot, caught Crute coming in. Crute goes down, and he follows up afterwards when Crute gets back up with another nice big hook. Down goes Crute, and then a big right hand on top from Jamahal Hill. I think Jamahal Hill has unlocked like a new level of viciousness, and sometimes he goes out there and uses that viciousness to get first round KOs, and we saw this against Klidson Farias de Abreu. That fight actually isn't on his record because it got overturned due to some of that devil's lettuce in his system, let's just say, which is absolute bullshit. At least I believe that's what it was. I hope it wasn't actually something more serious, but I believe it was just some of that devil's lettuce in his system, which is absolutely retarded to cancel a fight and call it a no contest after that. But he clearly destroyed Klidson Farias de Abreu, destroyed him badly, knee to the body, knee upstairs, and then boom, boom, down goes Clinton Farias Diabrio. Finished him off very easily in the first round, and I think if he comes out with that level of spite early on, I think he will beat Johnny Walker in this fight. It's going to be a wild one. I feel like Johnny Walker is at a bit of a disadvantage because he's got a tall, lanky opponent in front of him, so he can't really use a lot of the jumping techniques that he does, like a big front kick to the face or a jumping front kick or something like that, or a jumping kick in general, or like a spinning back fist. I think a lot of the stuff he's going to want to land is going to be a much more difficult land than if he were taking on a shorter opponent. He could time that flying knee maybe, which is a very dangerous move that the shorter guy would have to look out for. But against a taller opponent in Jamahal Hill that can keep range equally as well as Johnny Walker, I feel like maybe he's going to be at a problem landing some of those explosive, close-range, distance-closing shots that he does, with that flying knee being the most important one that I'm thinking of right now. So I think Jamahal Hill's going to be good in that regard. I don't see him getting smacked out of nowhere, but maybe, just maybe, he gets drawn into a brawl, thinks that he has Johnny Walker hurt, and Walker comes back and lands some big shots, gets a takedown, ends up on top. Maybe Jamahal Hill gets rocked, shoots a bad takedown, ends up getting elbowed to the side of the head, Travis Brown style. I mean, Johnny Walker is a supreme athlete, and that's something you can't take away from him. But I just think his chin is just not trustworthy. And I need a trustworthy chin in these kind of firefights, because Jamahal Hill's going to bring the fight. Like, Jamahal Hill doesn't have boring fights in his career. Like, he tries to bring the fight, even against OSP. OSP at one point was chopping up his legs badly, and Jamahal Hill was like, fuck it, I'll limp you down at one point. Like, not even walk you down, cut off the cage. Fuck this shit, I'm going to limp you down in this cage. You're getting limped down right now. That might be the most embarrassing thing I've ever heard. OSP got limped down by Jamahal Hill as he's just piecing up OSP against a cage with brutal combos. And I think that Jamahal Hill can have similar levels of success. He actually showed a lot of patience in the OSP fight, not to sort of overcrowd himself. So I don't see him doing like the Ryan Spann situation where he just ends up swinging wildly and giving up bad positions and ending up on bottom or shooting a bad takedown. Jamahal Hill's very patient. He'll see that he's rocked you, start cutting off the cage, start landing more combinations. And I think he's going to do that to Johnny Walker and get a first round KO. I think he's going to tag Johnny Walker with like a straight 1-2 right on Walker's chin as Walker goes for like a front kick to the body or something like that. Then Walker's going to sort of try and sort of recover himself against the cage, try and throw something back at Jamahal Hill and get some space. And when he does that, I think Jamahal Hill's going to land that counter hook that he has right on the chin of Johnny Walker and fold Johnny Walker in on himself, finishing him in the first round. I like Jamahal Hill's style here, man. Brings the fight, ready to scrap, good chin, good power, very fast hands, very accurate in general, and I just think he's going to get this one done. I really do like the matchup for him. Now, I'm going to check the reaches of both of these guys just to get a last-minute check-up on who has the longer reach, because I'd assume that Johnny Walker actually has the longer reach out of the two of them. Jamahal Hill's at a 79-inch reach, and 82 for Johnny Walker. So Johnny Walker is going to have a reach advantage, but as I said, Jamahal Hill's got a long reach, and Walker's reach should arguably be minused by 5. Because, again, his depth perception is so off in some of these fights. And I feel like that's maybe why he was so out of range at all times in that Thiago Santos performance. Because he probably thought he was in range at some point. Sitting on the outside, tapping at the legs of Thiago Santos. Basically just doing enough to not seem like he's doing nothing. But also doing nothing, essentially, and just sitting on the outside and trying to pick at Thiago Santos and losing that battle slowly but surely every single round. I think we're going to see a stand-up match. And I just think Johnny Walker in his last fight even, he just fought like a guy who has no trust in his chin. He fought like a guy who'd been KO'd 10 times in sparring. And I worry about him because, again, every time he gets touched, he goes down or he gets wobbled, other than that one shot against Thiago Santos. And this goes back to his regional career as well. If you've watched some of the regional losses of Johnny Walker, they're KOs. They're KOs. They're bad KOs. And one of them especially, I know you've seen it. I think this guy did like a voiceover joke situation of it. You can probably go look it up. Fighter gets KO'd like 4 times in one fight or something like that. And he literally just got down, up again, oh, I'm up, boom, down, slump again, up again, oh, I'm up, down, slump again. And at the end of the fight, he's literally throwing himself backwards like a madman. I just don't like his chin density levels. And I think if he gets into a firefight with Jamahal Hill, which I think will be enforced by the pressure of Jamahal Hill that's very educated, I think he's going to go to sleep. So I'm going to go with Jamahal Hill here. Very big fight for the light heavyweight division. The winner of this one's going to be in a very good spot to jump right into the top 10, top 7, 6 area. I don't know who they're going to go for, but I'll check right now. I know I might be a bit bright on the screen right now. I hate it when it does that, but let me just check real quick. I'm sorry about the brightness momentarily. Good lord, this white screen is terrible. Jamahal Hill, number 12. Johnny Walker, number 10. Winner's probably going to take that number 10 spot or keep the number 10 spot because Johnny Walker lost to Nikita Krylov. So I reckon they could do the winner of this one versus Dominic Reyes in his comeback fight. And if I was Jamahal Hill, that's who I'd be calling out if I were to beat Johnny Walker. And if I was Johnny Walker and I beat Jamahal Hill, that's equally who I'd be calling out as well. Dominic Reyes. Hasn't been in a cage for a very long time. Is recovering from a very bad facial fracture. So he's not really going to be the same mentally when he comes back. So if I'm Jamahal Hill, I know you're listening to this, okay? Because I know Jamahal Hill pays attention to what people are saying online. Because he throws a lot of shots when people are wrong. I know, okay? Because I picked Jimmy Crute against him. And he was giving it the, people must have been wrong about this on the post-fight interview. So Jamahal Hill's got that pettiness down to a T, okay? So I know he watches this. So Jamahal Hill, I know you probably have thought of this already. But please call out Dominic Reyes after this fight. I think it's a perfect matchup for you. And if you don't call him out, he's probably going to get Ozdemir. And that's a nice little comeback fight for him, in my opinion. But if you go for him, and remember that fight was controversial the first time between Ozdemir and Reyes, so there's some kind of reason to run that one back in a way, because some people think Ozdemir won, some people think Reyes won. It was at UFC London, very close decision. Could have gone either way. I can't even remember the fight in general, to be honest with you, but it was quite uneventful. But even still, Jamahal Hill, if you win this one, call out Dominic Reyes, and I just think Jamahal Hill's going to get this one done in general, man. It's a very good matchup for him. And I don't like Johnny Walker's last fight, man. It just looked like a guy who was just so terrified of any shot coming back his way. And Jamahal Hill's got quick hands, good boxing, good kicks as well, sometimes in there that he mixes in. Not too much of a kicker in general, so maybe Johnny Walker, if he wants to have a good chance at winning this one, should focus on leg kicks, I would say, because Jamahal Hill has shown some... Sorry, Jamahal Hill, don't call me out for this one. Like, I check leg kicks all day, every day. Like, in the OSP fight, you took a couple of leg kicks, let's be real. So if I'm Johnny Walker and Johnny Walker's team of SBG, I'm looking at that fight and thinking, he didn't deal with the leg kicks too well against OSP. Maybe we can chop up the legs. They kind of utilized that game plan against Thiago Santos anyway, but just a much more pussy version. A much more pussy version of that game plan where they just don't really interact other than the leg kicks at range. So if I was Johnny Walker, I'd be looking to chop at the legs of Jamahal Hill, start going for some takedowns, like I'm telling you. And maybe Johnny Walker, if you're watching this right now, hello. Grapple a bit. He won't, and I'm not picking him to, because I know he'll just strike out there. That's what he wants to do. Grapple a bit, man. Seriously, try it out. You're a really strong guy. And sometimes that's all that matters. You know what I mean? Sometimes that's all that matters. If you can have a physical presence over another guy in the cage, it doesn't really matter how good their takedown defense is. It doesn't matter if they've got underhooks. You can still pick them up and toss them over. You know what I mean? Like, having that kind of physical dominance that Johnny Walker has in the division can be well suited for a grappling heavy approach. And I think he should go to Dagestan, give that chin a rest of being hit on the feet in fights, and start full-on grappling people with sheer explosiveness. But he won't do that. I think he'll just get chinned by Jamahal Hill. So start to finish, I think the fight's going to go very patiently early on. Jamahal Hill's going to be moving forward. Johnny Walker's going to be moving around on the outside, trying to pick at Jamahal Hill's legs. Jamahal Hill's going to sort of be feinting the jab while shuffling into range and trying to find his rage against Johnny Walker. Johnny Walker's going to sort of like try and throw a punch. Jamahal Hill's going to sort of cut off the distance every time he does that. Walker's going to throw a bunch of feints, a jump knee, and he'll just sort of move out the way of it and then back him up again against the cage. Circling him. Good 1-2 from Jamahal Hill. Johnny Walker doesn't like it too much. Throws a leg kick again. He's starting to land a couple of good leg kicks on Jamahal Hill now. Jamahal Hill still cutting off the cage. Now he's starting to pin Walker against the cage. Walker still goes for the leg kick maybe, even though he's close to the cage. Now Jamahal Hill starting to throw as Walker throws the leg kick. Jamahal Hill lands a straight shot as Walker throws the leg kick. Wobbles him badly. Walker's defense system is to swing like crazy and go absolutely retard mode on Jamahal Hill, start swinging crazy, jump into him, get smothered, look for some clinch work. Walker's going to get tagged up in the clinch by Jamahal Hill with some good combos, start coming forward again, and then get slept with a hook, down on his ass. Follow-up shots from Jamahal Hill. Walker's quick to recover, but the ref's already called it off. Jamahal Hill first round KO. Then get on that mic and call out Reyes, you bastard. Okay? Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Click that button up there. Toodle pip, I'll see you later. I think Jamahal Hill can be a real threat in this division, so I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do. Very good prospect, and I think he'll continue to be successful this weekend as well. Toodle pip.